I have talked to Kaylee McEwen, and she spoke about being, I think, equally as self-critical or self-analytical and like always wanting more and more and more out of yourself. And she spoke about it to the point of it affected her confidence sometimes. And you wouldn't know it because her performances are just rock
Outrageous.
solid. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
back to back to back to back, like she is the two-time Olympic champion in both backstroke events, added a bronze medal in the 200 IM to boot, but she keeps, but she said her confidence would still waver because of how much she would analyze her own swims. Does do you feel that from over analyzing things, or is it more of just this is how I'm going to grow and improve myself?
I feel like it's a bit of a both. Like, I really relate to Kaylee. I really look up to Kaylee. Like, we're best friends and we both relate to each other so much. Like, we talk to each other about this stuff because we're in a similar boat. We're like, oh my God, like, this is not to my standards. Like, I can achieve a lot more. Like, this went wrong in the race. And like, you think about it and you're like, yeah, I can grow from that. Like, taking those little bits of the race and knowing you still performed well with like, one little stuff and you're like, what else could I do? Like, can I achieve a lot more if I fix that thing up? And it's a great thing with swimming is because there's no perfect race. There's, even if you do the world's fastest time, it's still not perfect. And that's what I've realized, like nothing is perfect in this sport. And it's hard to strive to reach perfection, but just learning from like every circumstance. And it does kill your confidence a little bit when like you're so self-critical, you doubt yourself so much because there's been a lot of blocks in this lead up that I've had moments where I'm like, am I able to do this? Like, I don't think like my training's good enough, even though it was, and it was on like standard, because I'm always striving to that next level. I'm like, you don't know what the others are doing, and sometimes the unknown kind of scares us. So that's why we are so self-critical, is because we're like, well, what if someone else is doing, what if they're doing this and I'm doing this wrong, I have to fix that up. So it's just that point that really gets to me, is like, oh, you don't know in the sport what you're going to achieve in the future. You don't know anything. And, in the moments you have to just strive for them 1%ers, but sometimes it can really consume you, and it can make you enjoy the sport or hate the sport sometimes. And there's moments like that. But yeah, I would say like a part of it has destroyed my confidence, especially in training, where I've just gotten to the point where I just continuously doubt myself and what I've done in training. And, I think it can be such a negative thing, but also can be such a positive thing. And yeah, it's a hard one that I'm still working on, and I'm still trying to like improve and learn from it. And especially, being able to be in the room with like rooming with Kaylee in the same apartment, to seeing her and talking to her and being open about this stuff. I've learned a lot from her, and like to be able to watch what she achieves under those moments where she's so self-critical and all that, it gives me the like confidence. It kind of boosts my confidence, but at the same time it's a bit weird. But to see her do that and succeed, really makes me wonder like, oh, I'm capable of doing that too. Like, I'm going to learn from what she's done and achieved. And yeah, I think it's such a weird thing.
I feel like this is the blessing and curse of being at the top of your
Yes.
sport, right? Of being
Yeah.
the very best, is like you said, you're trying to achieve at the very highest level, but then there is that unknown of what is everyone else doing.
Yeah, it just never ends.
It's just never ends. I guess that's why people retire.